Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you so much for logging on for Taleem Sunday. My name is Fatima Ali.
My name is Zaid Hamid.
And my name is Khalil Ahmed.
And we're so excited to be on with you guys today for Taleem Sunday. Brother Khalil Ahmed is going to be our gracious host for today. All of you guys know Brother Khalil, alhamdulillah, an upstanding brother in our community. We're so thankful that he's been able to rejoin us for our Taleem Sundays after his hiatus. And we're so glad to have him back. This Sunday, he's going to be graciously hosting myself and Brother Hamid so that we can share some exciting developments with you guys.
Yeah, it's good to be back. My hiatus was not foreseen, but I'm glad to be back on this community. It's very positive. I love interacting with the Muslim community. It gives me a great sense of accomplishment in oneself that I'm actually doing things right. But as she said, I'll be hosting today's Taleem. I have a couple questions for y'all about. I heard about this new. What is Muslim Culture Con? You can go ahead and start with that, Fatima.
Alrighty. Well, Muslim Culture Con is a community project and organization that Zaid and I are engaged with, that we've been working on since the start of 2022, and that we're really excited to share with you guys. We have a lot of ideas and plans for the upcoming year, and we're excited to be online to share them with you.
So, stemming from that, what is the mission of it? What is it going to do for the community?
Well, maybe we should start off by introducing ourselves. I know everybody knows me in the Houston area, but if you're not from the Houston area, my name is Fatima Ali. I am 24. I am actively engaged in Mercy Community Center in masjidwdm, and I am the youth programming coordinator and interfaith ambassador at those locations. I also teach Arabic at the Islamic Learning Institute, and I've been working on this project with Zaid and our team at Muslim Culture Con. Zaid, would you like to introduce yourself?
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you. My name is Zaid Hamid. I am residing out of Decatur, Georgia, a member of the Atlanta Masjid of Al-Islam. Previously born and raised, went to Claire Muhammad Schools in St. Louis, Missouri, and a member of the Al-Mu'minun Islamic Center there. 28 years old. Currently just got married this summer, alhamdulillah. And this past January, Allah blessed me to be, I'm gonna use the word chosen, right? To be a part of, the planning committee for Muslim Culture Con. And we really started from scratch. Everyone came in with their idea or, what influenced them to want to be a part of, a collective and define what our goal is. And, it's safe to say from my perspective, that goal is to be able to reach out to our young adult Muslims in the community, specifically Man Warfing Muhammad's community, and really help them, guide them, aid them in their, striving toward, remaining connected to their Islamic culture, their Muslim culture as their, primary source of identity in this, environment of culture that we live in the U.S., to be able to, modestly represent Islam, themselves, their families, and their communities, and, be able to see themselves as a part of that and not see it as a negative other, but see it as the real option amongst all these additional options to choose as far as a way of life in the U.S. So that's what we've been working on, and interested and definitely excited to share what we've been working on with you all today.
Absolutely. And as Zaid mentioned, we all joined Muslim Culture Con for our reasons that we were passionate about, and we all came together to share in this mission to really create a space for young adult Muslims to really be proud of their identity and their culture. I know that for myself, I was really excited to have this opportunity to engage with other young adult Muslims in creating this space, especially since as a college student, there were barely any Muslims at my college for most of my time as an undergrad. And graduating, I really wanted to find that young adult Muslim community to connect with and to build bonds with. So I'm more than excited and more than grateful to have the opportunity to help create those spaces where those young adult Muslim relationships can be formed, strengthened, and cultivated.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't know if I need to introduce myself, but I will. My name is Kula Ahmed. I've been studying under my father because Imam Qasim Ahmed, I guess, for all my life. He never really talked about anything. Community, I'm mostly interactive with this community. Imam WD Muhammad's community. I've been hosting on Taleems, doing other different things like the Ikra Voice. That was really fun to do here. It was just a show where we taught kids and new verses for Ramadan and for different days we was fasting. And it's just been a great experience being in this community. It's helped me be more focused in what I need to do. I do wish to do more. Talking about this next step, which we're about to get into, since we're all introduced ourselves. Back to this question: what is the mission of the Muslim Culture Con? What can you tell me about what are y'all planning to do? Like, what's the main goal?
So I'll share the mission, our mission statement, and then Fatima can elaborate, and I can elaborate. It's cool, Fatima?
Yeah.
So, Muslim Culture Con strives to prepare our young adult Muslims for both individual and collective success by providing the space and life skills necessary to responsibly establish community. We support, strengthen, and celebrate our inherited legacy through the continued cultivation of our Islamic culture as young adults supporting Imam Wardi Muhammad's vision for modern Muslim American community life.
That's our mission statement. And our shared vision is to provide an environment where young adult Muslims can build healthy connections, build upon the healthy connections that they already have, and improve their quality of life as young Muslims striving to please Allah in their daily actions and improve the shared Muslim community life through their engagement and inshallah, their contributions. In a lot of ways, just our presence and our engagements as young adults in our communities is already a huge contribution, even if you're not in like a leadership role, because everyone in the community has so much to contribute. So that's a little bit of elaboration on our vision statement.
So I had a couple other questions. From your mission statement, like what are some events or you could suspect, like what's some ideas that you can say that will get people to interact with the Muslim Culture Con? Like, is it just like speaking about how to establish more of a structure, family structure in Muslim communities, or is it just like events that help people to socialize more and get more help within the Muslim community?
Yeah.
I'd say it's a healthy combination of both. Alhamdulillah, on September 3rd at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, we'll be having our virtual launch event that will include a dialogue amongst young adult Muslims about the importance of taqwa, and as well have a presentation by Imam Rashad Abdul Rahman of Atlanta Masjid. Inshallah, following that will be our partnership to be coming with the Time to Be Grateful in Washington, D.C., where we'll be able to have activity led by us after the Jummah prayer and the Saturday of that weekend. And then, inshallah, the plan is to take what we've learned from those experiences, because outside of it just being, primarily led by the 7 of us on the planning committee, and then our many mentors that have, Allah's blessed us to have to guide us through this process, that have experience in doing conferences like this in the past. we do recognize that we don't have the grasp of the whole community. We can't, approach this topic, this cause from a monolithic perspective. The only monolithic perspective is that of, Al-Islam, the Quran, and the Sunnah, and the language and commentary of Imam Wafdi Muhammad. But when we get more young adult Muslims involved in these conversations that we're having on how to, like Fatima noted, step into these roles, sustain these roles, or step into these relationships and sustain these relationships, that leads into us to, inshallah, next late spring, summertime, sometime in 2023, having our first conference. Where we can gather the young adult Muslims from across the country to come together and engage in a setting that is, building upon what Allah is placing upon all of us in our fitra and our pure human essence, things that we know what is best for us, and we need to build upon as young adults, and not just relying on the previous generations or the generations coming behind us to take responsibility for our community. So that's, it's market research and activity at the same time, and that's the fun thing about it, because things can change, but we recognize we're working with a structure, a foundational structure that is unchanging, and it's something that identifies with all of us individually and as a community.
Alhamdulillah. And I want to build on that. But before I do, I'm covering everyone's faces now, sorry. But this is the flyer for the Muslim Culture Con that our very own Imam Elijah helped us design, or that our very own Imam Elijah designed for us. Alhamdulillah, may Allah reward him. This is the time, the date, and inshallah, we'd love to have everybody there.
Well, I've been looking at the flyer. Could you explain some of the people who are going to be attending that as one of the leaders? I've seen.
Yeah. Let me see if I can share it without cutting off a bunch of people's faces.
Nah.
No. Cool.
You'll be fine.
Well, that's fine. Here.
Yeah. So we have Imam Rashid Abdul Rahman.
Imam Rashad Abdul Rahman.
Rashad. Oh, is that?
Yeah, that's Imam Rashad Abdul Rahman. We have Sister Khadija Abdullah that many in the Houston community know. She's up in Dallas. Jada Ahmed. She's in the Atlanta community. Myself, Bilal Sabri. I don't remember which community Bilal is from. Is it New York?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay. There's Aisha from our own community. There's Zaid. And Zaid, you said you were from the Georgia community, correct?
That's where I am now, yes.
Yes. And then there's Sister Inshira.
She's of Atlanta community as well.
Alhamdulillah. So we have quite a few Atlanteans. I don't know the correct term. We have some Houstonians, folks from Dallas, and Bilal, who's on the East Coast, and then Imam Rashad Abdul Rahman giving our keynote.
So if people wanted to join and get involved, how would they be able to go to do that? Like, how would they be able to reach out to y'all if they wanted to join those group of people?
So we have several ways to connect. First, definitely come to our virtual launch, the one that's advertised in the flyer. When you sign up, we'll save your email address and we'll reach out to you, to see if you're interested in staying engaged or getting involved. If you're interested in getting involved, you can follow us on our social media page and reach out to us via email expressing interest. And we'll reach back out to you to incorporate you into the projects that we're working on, inshallah. Zaid, I do not remember our social media handles.
You can find us on Instagram at Muslim Culture Con. Correct, same spelling. And our email, you can reach out to us at muslimculturecon, same spelling, @gmail.com. And like Fatima said, when you RSVP for the virtual launch and inshallah attend, we'll still have your information to reach out to you then, because we're looking for as many young adult Muslims as possible to participate in many different ways, whether it's not just on the planning committee, but more so our subcommittees, more local communities in your own committees in your own communities that you be able to work in as well, because we're trying to make sure that we have as far outreach as possible to conduct the young adult Muslims, similar to how our previous generations were able to connect at conferences. And yeah, I know brother such and such lives 3,000 miles away. How you meet him? It's like, I don't have that, right? And that's something I'm trying to develop. And that's a part of even me becoming a part of the planning committee. So I could meet other young adult Muslims across the country. Because sometimes if you are, one of the few that are active in your community, it can seem kind of, am I the only one? And we don't want anyone to, it's different to, like, I know that's not true, but what you see sometimes doesn't reflect that. So for those that are out there that want to be able to connect in that way, this is, I believe, and we believe it's an excellent way to be able to be a part of that larger community life.
Absolutely. And to build on that, one of our main goals is to give young adults the tools and guidance to build out their community life in the broadest sense. And that's not only on an individual level, but on a community level. Just like Zaid was saying, how those in our previous generations knew each other and were connected from each other from coast to coast based on meeting up at conferences, coming to big events shared by the community together. That's something that we want to carry into the next generation, our generation, and really lay that foundation so that I can say, hey, I know a sister on the East Coast and a sister on the West Coast, and they're active in their communities. They're connected to a bunch of young adults in their communities. How can we come together and plan something to enrich our shared community, our shared community across all of these states?
I'll share a brief example. So even just being a part of this planning committee, Allah's blessed us to, create that environment amongst ourselves. And it's just 7 of us. But due to relationships like that, for example, I was a team leader on Camp Khalil this past spring, but I had some other business to do in Texas at the end of the camp. Through connections that I had on the planning committee, I was able to connect with local Muslims in the Dallas, DeSoto area, and be able to have somewhere to stay for 3 days after the camp, because they were opening up that type of hospitality. And that's the thing that you don't just have access to, by doing nothing. You have to be involved and communicating with just whoever you can, that is operating from that common spirit to be able to, receive Allah's blessings. Don't cut yourself off from that. See the availability there and grab it, take it, make that step, have those conversations.
So yeah. Initially, would you describe this as like more of a nonprofit organization within the Muslim community, or like how would you get able people to actually like contribute resources to help further this Muslim culture? Is there a way to like?
So we're not. Yeah, so we're not officially like a nonprofit. That's our vision, or that's one of the visions that we've had. Right now, we're more just like a community of young adults really looking to strengthen our shared Muslim community. But there are ways that folks can contribute.
Right. They can, the main way we've been getting donations so far has been through our CashApp, MCC 2023. Just the letters MCC 2023, and Allah's blessed us to receive, very decent amount of donations through those platforms, that platform specifically, that are helping us with moving into these programs that we're throwing. And for example, even for our virtual launch, because we're trying to really make sure that the young adult Muslims are engaged, to be able to have prizes to give, from the polls that we'll have, because we want to keep them engaged, because we recognize for some that may be interested but are in that area of uncertainty, some, like giving somebody some candy. I don't know. I don't want to make it sound like that, but people like when they get things, and we want them to be involved, and we want to make sure we're getting accurate information from these polls that we'll be running as well, because those things that help us shape and map the directions we're going outside of just, the mentors Allah's blessed us with.
That's great. Mashallah. That sounds great. Kind of running out of questions to ask, but let me give y'all some ideas. Could you further explain some goals or ideas you have, other than other Like, if you could envision what the greatest thing you could possibly do, like what's your biggest goal? Like if it's outside of the community, like how would you be able to expand? Do you know any of that? Or would you just say like, what is your biggest goals for you want to achieve? Like, other than just like bringing the community together, what are some bigger goals that you actually want to achieve? Have y'all?
Like, so if we had like a 10-year vision or something, what would that vision look like? That's a good question. And when I think about like what would be like an awesome 10-year vision, the first thing that comes to mind would be having an annual type of event where young adults can come together. Like, and then knowing that through Muslim Culture Con, young adults in different cities had the opportunity to really connect and create their own pockets of social support and community within their city. Like knowing that through Muslim Culture Con, more young adults in the Texas area or the Houston area got to connect and now have a shared sense of community. And knowing that same thing maybe happened in like California or DC, and knowing that there are pockets of young adult community that are like more established, more connected with each other within these different cities from meeting at Muslim Culture Con, and then knowing that those pockets of community also know each other and that we can connect with each other and do big things for our communities together.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me? Am I lagging?
Yes, it's a bit.
Sorry about that.
You're all good.
Y'all.
So,
what do you think, Zaid? I know that's kind of an on-the-spot question.
Yeah, no, similar to like what Fatima said. It's I would take the idea what she said is going from generals to specifics, and generals is our more national appeal, and of course we can't, right now do multiple things in multiple cities at the same time. So everything we're really approaching it from a large perspective, casting a wide net, seeing what we're blessed to come across that can aid us in where we're going. But the more specific approach would be, going from nationwide through state by state or regional to, city by city, really activating, the young adult Muslim populations that we do have in our community, whether they are active or inactive in their communities. It starts with one, bringing them into spaces where that they're able to exchange with each other. And then inshallah, that exchange that they're having is rooted based upon a knowledge, something that they can take back to their individual areas, whether it is just the one active young adult Muslim in a household of older Muslims who may not be as active, and they can introduce a new understanding of the foundations of lives given us into that household that can spark life back into it, spark life and think in the way that they communicate with their younger siblings or the rest of their family. They can become effective models of themselves and of what community life is on their own. So it's like, what does that look like in a larger goal? I can't really paint that picture, but through the education I've received and the education that our communities is an example of itself, we see what the possibility is, but it might not necessarily be as manifest as we want it to be. So that's something that's always going to be something we're working upon. So it's a learning process. In another year, we might know exactly what that looks like. It could be the world tour of Muslim Culture Con or whatever the name is. It's just the idea of coming from this central knowledge base and really respecting the traditions of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and language of the Quran and the commentary of Mufti Muhammad. Things that we know, using our conscious minds, ideal to the best of our nature, and we want to make sure that we're setting the example for that, and we're actually building something that's sustainable.
World tour, Muslim Culture Con. I like the sound of that. That sounds very, very visionary. I would say should we take some time to ask the chat if they had some questions, or if they had some questions for us?
Yeah,
We do have
let's
5 minutes left.
Are there any questions in the chat? Oh, Brother Mustafa shared the Eventbrite link. Thank you so much, Brother Mustafa. Let me see. Yeah. So you can register at this Eventbrite link. It's in, if you're on Facebook, it should be in the chat stream and you should be able to click it. And then I may also be able to share the email and the CashApp on the bottom as a ticker. But are there any questions from the audience? And here's the banner for everyone.
If there's any questions, we can take them. I heard, Fatima, you work at you teach at the Islamic Learning Institute.
Yes, we teach at the Islamic Learning Institute. I do teach at the Islamic Learning Institute, students 8 through 14. I think that registration is about to open up for the Islamic Learning Institute, actually. So definitely go and check out their courses. They have an awesome range of courses.
Say like for
I
like
don't. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Like say if like people wanted to join and sponsor this, is there like other than this, other than just advocating ourselves, would it be able to like? I mean, I'm saying it's possible, but saying like the Islamic Learning Institute, there's people that reach out to like sponsor this event or like get it more well known. Other than just this, we can spread this and spread the message as much as we can. But I know the flyers as well is good, but having other people sponsor. Have you thought about any sponsors other than the Muslim community?
We've had folks reach out to us interested in sponsorship and to offer sponsorship, and we've been very thankful to have their support and to have that connection. We're also open to sponsorship, and they could reach out to us at muslimculturecon@gmail.com, or if they know any of us individually, they could reach out to us individually. And we would love to engage with them. And sponsorship can look like all different types of things. So we're more than appreciative for any support that the community can provide.
Okay. Let's see.
I don't see any questions. Zaid, did you have any final thoughts or remarks?
No, inshallah, I look forward to seeing those of you who are able to RSVP or tune in to any of your local live streams that we may have a chance to stream on for the Muslim Culture Con. I have a pretty good idea that it's going to be a very fruitful conversation and dialogue with Imam Rashad as well afterwards. And may Allah, bless our efforts and be able to have a lasting impact in the community, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah. Yes, the program will be streamed on Facebook through the New Freedom Exchange network, and New Freedom Exchange is well known in the community, so their Facebook can be found pretty easily. Inshallah, we'll also be reaching out to some of the masjids or other community organizations to ask if we can also live stream on their platforms. So you may also see the live stream on a channel that you tune into every week.
Inshallah.
Please check that out. peace and blessings to you, Fatima and Zahish. I appreciate the time you taken here to go on this live stream. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all so much for spreading this truth, positivity now with the Muslim Culture Con.
I accidentally commented as everyone. Oops. Someone asked about the date, so I typed it into the chat. September 3rd, 2022 at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central.
All right. Well, that was great. I'd love to hear more about the Muslim Culture Con. Hopefully everything goes well and kickstarts it off. I'll try to reach out myself and tell my family, tell their people, and so on and so forth. Thank y'all so much for doing this or letting me host. I appreciate it to be part of the community some more. Always good blessings here.
Always. Inshallah, see you September 3rd.
Inshallah. That means I do have the intention to be there. So, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum. Please stay tuned for the announcements. Check y'all out. Alhamdulillah. Like they said, please join on September the 3rd, 2022, Saturday, the Muslim Culture Con virtual launch. You can also donate to their Cash App and register. The Cash App is, hold on. Here we go. Make it a little bit bigger. $ MCC 2023. That's $ MCC 2023. Also, contact information can be reached at muslimculturecon@gmail.com. All right. So please stay tuned for our announcements. Community announcements. Please join us every Friday for our virtual khutbah at 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can, in this live stream, Facebook, YouTube. Also, in-person Juma is available at 1:30. Masks are recommended. Also, donate to become 50 of the 100 believers to commit to $50 a month. Snap the QR code to get started, or go to tinyurl.com/WDM100 for 50. Also, Mercy Community Center, Masjid Al-Quran, in-person Juma is available from 1:30 and at 2:30. Masks are recommended. Become one of the Merciful 313. You can donate $30 recurring donations to Masjid Al-Quran, Mercy Community Center. Snap the QR code. Taleem/public address every Sunday at 1:30 Central Standard Time. It's live streamed on your Facebook page and YouTube page. Your Zakat and donations are needed. Ways to donate: you can go to the website www.masjidwdmmuhammad.com, Zelle, PayPal, or Cash App. Mercy Community Center at Masjid Al-Quran. Your Zakat and donations are needed. Go to www.mercy. Also, Muslima Nights. You can email to join Sisters Only, muslimanights@gmail.com. New Muslim Orientation class. You can, for more information, you call 713-385-1215 or email Elijah at masjidwdm. Sisters Halakha every second and fourth Saturday from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Fundraiser donor wall for the Ibrahim Kamaluddin Community Center. You can go to tinyurl.com/MWDM donor wall. That concludes our community announcements. Assalamu alaikum.